Sayer, Scott Maureen Smith Phillips of Ridgeberry Township, several grandchildren, several great-grandchildren, Brother Jeffrey Blows of South Bend, Indiana, and several nieces, nephews, and cousins. Thank you for coming to help us celebrate Jerry's life and to share our grief. I am heartbroken by the loss of my friend, but honored to have had the opportunity and to reflect on Jerry's life as I will do a little of it today. My wife Judy and I, and she's in her we met Jerry and Eleanor at the Facet Baptist Church soon after we arrived here from Hawaii. As time went by, our friendship grew. Jerry was a great gardener, and he loved to share his vegetables and everything that he grew, including flowers. He really had a green thumb. His garden always looked so good, and he meticulously cared for it daily. He knew I enjoyed hot peppers, so he would grow some every year for me. And it was such a joy for him to bring it to me. And we would sit down and have a coffee and talk. And oh, what a joy it was for me to enjoy Jerry and to sit down there and spend that time with him, knowing that he thought very highly of our friendship, that he took time to grow those peppers, even though he was in the trailer. Somewhere on the side, he grew those peppers. I learned a lot from Jerry. Whenever I had a project and was stuck and not knowing how to proceed, guess who I called? Jerry. And he would have a solution. Jerry took his responsibility as church trustee very seriously, and he served with distinction. But I know he's happy now to be reunited with Eleanor. I cherish our friendship. I really want to miss Jerry. I got to know most of you all because of my friendship with Jerry and Eleanor. At this time, I would like to offer you all the opportunity to share some of your favorite memories of Jerry. So those who would like to, just let me identify and you can say whatever you like. Rick?
Usually, if man had some sort of procedure done, he went through a lot of heart procedures in the last few years. I would try to come up to Dover and spend a few days with him to make sure that he was okay. Just this last episode, I've been trying to call him, couldn't get a hold of him. I got a hold of Dawn, and she went down to check on him, and she found where he had fallen. She got him to the hospital, and I came up the next morning, and I spent the next few days with him. Got him, helped get him through the surgery, and to where we felt comfortable that he was doing well. He had been taken out of the ICU unit, and so I went ahead and went home that night. And the following morning, Donna had a brain bleed and a stroke. So I was able to be here with Dad when he really needed me. And I was able to feel comfortable enough to get home, not knowing why I needed to be there at the time. Dad was always a hard-working man. I remember years and years that he was working a lot of overtime to try and provide for his family. He was always a good provider, raising 5 kids all together out in California. He was in business with my grandfather, and he had gone and found another part-time job working midnight shift just to try and make ends meet. They had just bought a new house. But whenever he could, he would work overtime. I don't know if it was to get away from all the kids.
Just you.
I really know he was a good provider for us. We never hurt for anything. We always had enough to get by. We always made sure we were taken care of. That was always his top priority. To make sure he took care of the family. Even when he didn't have a second job or a part-time job, him and Jean would find a job to do, doing sheetrock in somebody's house or laying block for somebody, just to bring in a little bit extra. So, he was always there to take care of the family.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to say anything?
Shortly after Dad passed, I came up from Kingsport and was helping clean up the house, do the carpet and that kind of stuff. And as I was packing up to leave, I'd done all my laundry and put my socks away and everything. And Dad and I both wore the same socks, the Dickies white crew socks. And Dad had mentioned that to me, that we both wore the same socks. So when I packed up, I have a dozen pair of those socks at home. I took 3 pair of Dad's socks with me. And so every single day, I may or may not have 1 or more of Dad's socks.
I wonder if he's still thinking what happened to them.
He doesn't need them.
That's a very good memory. Anyone else?
He's got something to say. He brings up corn.
Of course it's about the corn.
I know it. Sweet corn.
When I married into this family, he was one of the first ones to welcome me with open arms.
Because you had cake.
Coming up there,
You had cake
they
that
always
day.
had a nice spread of food for when we came up to visit. Always sitting out there on the porch, just having general conversations, but just the company with him and Eleanor was so well welcome for me coming into this family and everything. So you'll truly be missed.
Praise the Lord. You talk about the meal. I have
Oh, yeah, the corn.
many.
The fresh corn out of the garden.
Yes. And I love the view from the
From the port. Yes.
very, very nice. Thank you. Anyone else?
The thing that I always think of when I think of that is years ago, my ex-husband used to come up and go hunting with Dad every year. And one year there was a 3-legged deer. And Dad said, I hope I don't get that 3-legged deer. Well, about 7 o'clock in the morning, he came in the house and he said, you gotta go get a hunting license. I just got that stupid 3-legged deer. So off to Kmart we went.
Was that the year we went all over?
No, we just went to Kmart.
Oh, only Kmart that
I
time.
only had to go to Kmart. You had
It
like,
has been officially reported that you got that deer.
that's okay. Rick got one when he was flying one time.
He had an interesting way to handle things.
Yes.
That's great. I remember they had some issue at church that involved decisions by the Board of Trustees. And he was fiscally very responsible. And they had a big church meeting after church, and everybody gathered, and the people made their case for this to be approved. And Jerry got up and he said, I thank you all very much. He said, but we are not going to spend the money to do that. And everybody looked like in surprise. But it took time. And in a couple of years, in hindsight, they said, Jerry, you are a fortune teller. How did you know that? But he was really good for the church. He administered things very intelligently and wisely. Before he made any decision, he gave it a lot of thought. And I tell you, some of those things remain with me, knowing, and it has helped me in my life, how Jerry handled a lot of things. He was fiscally responsible, and he made wise decisions. What a great person to have had in our lives, and the memories that we have with him. How he preached us. You know, I didn't know very many people when we moved here. But Jerry and Ella opened their arms and made us feel at home. And whenever any of the family came, I had to get to know them and enjoy them and visit with them. I tell you, before his passing, he came to church, and I could see his weakness. I could see it. But he was still nice and friendly and Jerry. He drove. I asked him, I said, can you drive? He said, yes.
Should I know?
I thank you. Is there anybody else like to say anything? If not,
I remember
yes.
when he took us out to California in 1962 in a 1959 Ford Galaxy 500
With
white,
no reserve,
with
no
no
reverse.
reverse
Yes,
the whole way. So we had to make sure that he didn't park somewhere where we had to back up because we'd have to get out and push. So we made the whole trip to Gardena, California, to my grandfather's place.
Yep.
And we got settled in Long Beach. And a few days after that, after things were settled, he took it down to a shop. They tightened the bands on the transmission, cost him about $2.80. He was happy and mad at the same time. He hadn't bothered to get that done before.
Going that far with a car with no reverse, we can say that he was a forward-thinking man.
Oh, yeah. He was stubborn, is what it was, but forward-thinking.
All right, well, I will close with a poem, The Author Unknown. God looked around his garden and found an empty place. He then looked down upon earth and saw your tired face. He put his arms around you and lifted you to rest. God's garden must be beautiful. He always takes the best. He saw the road was getting rough and the hills were hard to climb. So he closed your weary eyelids and whispered, peace be done. It broke our hearts to lose you, but you didn't go alone. For part of us went with you the day you were called home. If you would bow for the benediction, please. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Go in peace. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for this joyful experience of remembering Jerry and the fun that he provided, but yet